The polished SR Performance strut tower brace will be a great option for non-performance pack S550 GT and EcoBoost owners out there who want to add a little bit more bling under the hood while helping to stiffen up the front end in the process. Now, on the other hand, if you do have one of those performance pack cars and you'd like to switch up the look of your factory brace, this thing would certainly apply to you as well. As far as your price point, well, you're gonna be right around the $200 range, and the install is gonna get an extremely simple 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, with some more detail to come later on. So a strut tower brace is one of those easy and affordable ways to make a subtle impact on your handling, helping to stiffen up the front end slightly and take some of the roll out of the front of the car when cornering very hard. Now, I do say subtle because in the spectrum of handling parts, I would argue there are other mods that will make a bigger impact to improving your handling, such as your sway bars, your springs, or even your tires. But 99% of the time, guys, a strut tower brace will be super affordable and will be very easy to install, both of which apply to the SR option that we have here. Now, traditionally, sure, SR Performance is gonna be one of your budget-friendly or value-friendly brands here on the site, and yes, that is pretty much the case with this particular strut tower brace, but that doesn't mean the construction has suffered or the build quality is questionable. In fact, quite the opposite. SR has incorporated aircraft grade 4130 chromoly steel for the overall build with this particular piece, in addition to using the 1-inch tubular parallel beam design. SR has also incorporated this mild steel plate to the brace itself here, has kind of welded it underneath, as you can see, just to further help reduce any possible flex with this particular option. Finally, guys, this bar has been given that brightly polished finish, and that is going to be the big draw with this particular option. Definitely going to be for the owners out there who like a little bit more flash under the hood and are maybe trying to complement a polished cold air intake system. On the other hand, if you're the less is more type of owner out there and you prefer to keep things a little bit more stealthy, SR does offer a textured black option on the site. You can find that here, and it'll actually cost you about 20 bucks less. One question I do see a lot about this particular product on the site is that, will it fit my 2015 and newer V6 Mustang? And I'm here to tell you that unfortunately it will not, and that is just due to the intake manifold design on the V6 cars. They do tend to sit a little bit higher than both the GT or the EcoBoost Mustangs. Now, sure, it might be possible to add some washers under the mounting points, space it out a little bit to clear the manifold, but the moral of the story is, as this thing sits right here, it will not fit the 2015 and newer V6 cars. But let's quickly get into the install here, guys, with the SR option. And as mentioned earlier, this one is extremely straightforward. So expect a rather simple 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe 30 minutes of your time to get this guy in place. Tool-wise, well, if you have a socket set, you're pretty much good to go here. First things first, you're going to want to pop the hood and remove the battery cover trim panel to gain access to the necessary studs. At this point, remove the 4 nuts off of the upper strut mount studs. Now, SR does include a few spacers that will be used, however, the number used will differ depending on whether or not your car is a performance pack model, so just make sure you reference the detailed instructions to determine how many spacers you will be using. With the spacers in place, set the SR strut tower brace on the studs, tighten down the 4 included nuts, and your installation is complete. So if you guys are after a no-nonsense, affordable strut tower brace option to help you tighten up the front end a little bit and add a little underhood bling, you'll want to check out the SR option right here at AmericanMuscle.com.